Welcome to Stories from the 3 Billion Under 30, featuring interviews with world-class millennials as well as the celebrities, Fortune 500 executives, and mentors that guide us. Welcome to another episode of Stories from the 3 Billion Under 30. Woo! And I can honestly say that this show, 2 billion under 20, well, the magnitude of 2 billion under 20 probably wouldn't be the same.
I have two copies. I have two copies in my office over there, by the way. One signed, one that I bought myself.
No, but like my personal brand wouldn't be at the stage it is, and I don't think 2 billion under 20 or 3 billion under 30 would be where it is without Sam Klein.
Wait a minute, but the fangirling back, I also wouldn't be. Jared wrote an article about me for Forbes, the 29-year-old, IBM's 29-year-old secret weapon, and I would not be where I am right now in a new
Come
role.
on, that
next
hasn't done anything.
Please.
Did that actually get you a new job?
In ways, yes. Come on, it's proof.
It's a cycle.
It's a cycle.
And I'm still giving you press.
So yeah, seriously. Hello.
But anyways, this is Sam Klein. She's at IBM. Her kind of claim to fame, I mean, you could share more, but Sam co-founded this group internally of millennials at IBM. Essentially, what I do with 2 billion under 20 and 3 billion under 30, she's done internally at IBM. And not only is it having huge implications for IBM in terms of press, in terms of retention engagement of millennial employees, recruiting new talent, potentially going to help their revenue. I still think they're at like %1 of the potential impact.
0.008. It's going to be.
0.008.
There's so much bigger things to come. Yeah.
But it's actually becoming the model for other companies to follow who want to do this. And you know, she's been getting the New York Fortune 500s together, or a handful of them, to be sharing best practices. Getting her counterparts in different companies to join together, blah, blah, blah. She's awesome. She's also like one of the craziest, most energetic people I know. So when I was asking everyone what fun meant to them in their interviews, we don't need anything. Like, you just need Sam's personality.
I had options.
So Sam, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Jared. Thanks for having me here. This is awesome. I mean, having you sitting on my couch right now is the best thing ever, by the way. So thank you.
Thank you for being in 3 billion under 30.
Thank you for having me in 3
Thank you for having me at TED.
You're welcome. Thanks for making that the best event ever.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was easily the best talk of my teens.
I'm gonna kill you.
It was also the last day I was ever a teenager.
I know, that was the best. It was like the perfect.
And then I was flying back
timing.
and I turned 20.
In New York City.
No, I turned 20 on a plane.
Oh, obviously you did. The nomad, Jared. The hashtag most stereotypical millennial nomad, Jared, flying on a plane for his birthday. I love it.
So should I ask you the questions I really want, or should I ask you questions from the book of questions?
One of the options. So let's start with the book of questions. Break out a book of questions question.
What page, Jason?
42.
42.
One of my favorite numbers. Mariano Rivera. Hey.
Ah.
Right? Yeah.
42.
You're right. I was thinking Hitchhiker's Guide.
Oh my god.
The answer to everything.
Oh no.
If you could kill people simply by imagining their deaths and saying the word goodbye, would you use the power? Assume they'd die a natural death and no one would suspect you.
No! No. Thoughts are going through my head right now, but I'm still going to say no. Okay. No.
Okay. Give me a page number. We'll get another question.
102. We're going with the twos today. I'm an even number person.
This book sold more than my book.
This book has been around forever.
It's probably sold more copies than 2 billion under 20.
It has.
This book's been around since 1971. This is my favorite book. So yeah, if yours had been out since 1971, like when you were.
It's okay. My favorite book is from the 1920s.
There you go.
Law of Success.
I was going to say
Napoleon
how to win friends and.
It was the
Facebook
precursor to Think and Grow Rich.
There you go.
And some publishing company sent me a book for Napoleon Hill.
I saw that the other day. That was awesome.
Okay, you and someone you love deeply are placed in separate rooms.
I can't even. These questions you're getting, yeah.
Each with a button next to you.
Oh no,
it's all about killing. You each know that both of you will be killed unless one of you presses your button the next 60 minutes. You also know that the first to hit the button will save the other, but immediately die. What do you do?
Hit it right away. Second I get there. Done. No question. Both of these are easy questions.
You're selfless. You're selfless.
You gotta be selfless.
Yeah.
Nah.
Well, I think that's like I don't know, I think that's why we get along, because we are so selfless in sharing best practices and sharing opportunities. Like, I feature you in press, you bring me to a talk.
Well, okay, here's the thing.
We share cool
So
stories.
here is my view on millennial generation. Not every millennial, right? Because not everyone is the same, and it goes for non-millennials. I know more baby boomers and millennials bodies, or no, baby millennials in a baby boomer's body than like Andrew Grill, for instance. Perfect example, right? So, but my whole thing about our generation, the way we were raised in this whole like digital age, is that we are the collaborators, right? Like that whole, everyone's like, oh, they're self-entitled, but like if you really talk to us, like we actually really want to work together and we want to help each other out and balance each other's strengths and weaknesses. Like this is a perfect example, right? You're like, I have this amazing opportunity. I'm like, well, I have this amazing opportunity for you. Like, let's do it all. But like that's what I always try to explain. And I always try to explain this to people, especially to people, the non-millennials. I'm like, no, especially in the workplace, because that's what I'm really focusing on at IBM, is how to bridge the generations in the workplace and make, a corporate company that's been around for over 100 years like IBM and other corporate companies that are out there that aren't startups, that aren't, haven't been around for less than 10 years, how to like attract and retain your talent there. And the thing is treat your employees like they're all on a team. Right? Like
they're people.
It's not even like they're people. Like pretend like when I'm always like to my dad, I'm like, remember when you coached me in like T-ball, or like to my mom who's my Girl Scout brownie leader, I'm like, just pretend we're like your brownie troop, or like pretend you're like
Little League
team.
I'm thinking of the new like Melissa McCarthy movie right now.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
The Boss.
Yeah, it was amazing.
But like it's so like, and the reason why like I gave you options for like the book of questions and table topics and like 5 board games that I have over here, and why you'll see like a billion board games in my apartment, is because this is kind of like how I've gotten IBM in a way to kind of and people in other generations to get it, is that our generation grew up playing on teams together, right? Like I think our parents, like our generation, more like moms were going into the workplace, and like we had parents that were both working and they needed to like do something with their kids after school, so they were like, here, go play baseball, or go play this on a team, or and you did all these like team activities. You played games like what do you call it, video games together on teams. You did team projects in school. So we just like come with this team mentality. And so I always say to like other generations that don't quite get that, especially in the workplace,
I think
I'm
we're
like,
the trophy generation.
right. I'm like, think we're the trophy generation. I'm like, no. I want you to go, okay? I'm like, I don't even know who makes this game, but you're welcome. I'm like, I want you to go, because I literally try to tell anyone this. Buy the game Forbidden Island and sit down with a bunch of like millennials and non-millennials and play the game together, right? So I was playing this game with my cousins last summer. My parents were watching and they were like, what the F is this game? Like, what are you doing in this game? The point of the game was to work together to beat the game. My parents were like, we play Monopoly, we bankrupt each other, we play Risk, we take over the world together. Like, what is this game? You guys are working together to beat the game? And I was like, yes, like that is the difference between our generation and your generation.
Yeah.
Like we want to like work with each other's strengths. So what you mentioned before about how like it's that selflessness that like kind of you want to help everyone else out, and that you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Kind of, I think that's the kind of the name of the game when it comes to our generation. So the more you can work together as a team, the better off you're going to be. So like with managers, be coaches, don't be managers, even better. Like you'll end up with such a better result at the end of the day.
Can I share the most recent win of the Millennial Core, or
Yeah.
is that still in the DL?
No, it's not in the DL at all.
Or is your involvement on the DL?
No, it's not in the DL.
Okay. So, and feel free to like throw
Yes.
details in, but when you collaborate like this, whether it's in an organization, and we'll use Millennial Core as an example, or with your own team, or even in your own family, things like the following can happen. The Millennial Core, essentially Sam and her small team, ideated they saw that like the Met Gala was happening, right? And they're like, it's a tech-related theme, we should have IBM work with a designer to make a statement. And so Sam parlayed that to a couple people on her team. They're like, yeah, go for it. She brings this idea to the Millennial Core. They make it happen. They go to the Met Gala. They have the best dress of the night, and it's the like single most popular tweet from IBM is about this dress. And IBM's like this old giant of a tech company, and yet they had a huge statement at a fashion event, albeit like the fashion event.
Totally.
But that was stemming from collaboration, but also like Millennial Core and that bigger organization. So that's what's possible when you collaborate.
Totally. And I think what like the best part of it is that like I think at a lot of companies people think, or like older generations think like hey, we just did this campaign, let's go out and get all our young employees who are on social to tweet about it. And they don't want to go tweet about something after it's happened. They want to be part of the process, right? Like, why is Kickstarter popular? Why? Because I can give $5 something and then feel like I was part of the story. I'm going to go tell my friends about it. I'm going to go tell my family about it because I feel proud of it because it was something that that product is actually happening because I gave $5. Is it really happening because you gave $5? Yeah, of course, but that is a very small part of the story. But so with what you're talking about,
it's why this book series is so impactful, and why 2 billion under 20 was the #1 entrepreneurship and small business book of 2015. Is because we brought together super geniuses, but like had them involved in the process.
It's all
Same
about
with 3 billion under 30.
Yeah. So for the Mecca, we went out and we sent a survey out to the 6,000 members across 60 whatever countries in Millennial Core across the world, and we were like, we want this to be truly global. We wanted to tell a story that you as young IBMers would tell. We want to reach a younger audience at IBM. So we asked them, what fashion designer is your favorite? Who are your favorite influencers on social? Who is your favorite celebrity? And we used all of their responses and actually used that to decide what fashion designer to work with, which celebrity to wear the dress, and who to actually invite to an influencer event, and blah 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 blah. You get it? And then those were the and then people were writing in their Millennial Core like, I can't believe I saw my favorite blogger Snapchatting IBM the other night. Like I like dropped dead when I saw that. Or we had someone, a millennial minded individual, saying like, my daughter was at the dinner table last night and was going on and on about this dress at the Mecca and how it was the most amazing thing she's ever seen. And the moment she was like, I nearly fainted when I found out it was IBM. Like I was so proud to be working for this company. And the thing is, a lot of the social and stuff came from IBMers themselves because they were part of the story that was told. And you really can get, and I know everyone talks about employee advocacy and let's set up employee advocacy programs. It's like, you don't need to set up anything. You just need to ask your employees what they want you to be doing, like how you want to tell your story, and let them be part of it, and then that'll all happen organically.
Just to add some practical sauce to this interview, can you help us walk through the steps of building a community that has legs, that's very vibrant, engaged, like 3 billion under 30, like the Millennial Core? Like, how did you even set that up in the first place? Walk us through it.
So here's my I don't know how many tips it's going to be because I don't know. I'm going to count them now. I'll tell you at the end. 1, get the right people behind it. If you do not have the right support from above, especially when you're working at a company like IBM, people sponsoring it. I know people always say that, and it doesn't need to be the people that are necessarily involved in it every single day, but you just need to get the support there. And then, not that you can name drop, but like whenever you're going to get I can't swear, a shit ton of naysayers, right? And you need to be able to drop a name in a way to say like, well, X supports this, so you know what? And at the beginning when you're starting it, right? When people are like, you can't do that, well, actually this person says that I can, so I'm gonna keep doing it. And those people are gonna end up being, they may not be involved in it every day, or even like you may go to them once a year for you never know. And don't worry about them, and if they're not like talking to you all the time about it, just gain trust in them and have them gain trust in you, and trust is the key there.
Totally.
With
for me, that was like Stacy joining on board to start 2 billion under 20 with me. It was like the first follower, which is as big of a leadership role as my leadership role in starting it, which would be like the non-corporate version. It would be cool to do the corporate.
Yeah, we should totally.
And then all the people that bought into the book vision, and it quickly became a lot more than just a book with 2 billion under 20. But the first 5 or 10 that quickly bought in, that helped the project tremendously. So for you, it was sponsors.
So it was sponsors and it wasn't like a zillion sponsors. It was just getting one key sponsor, right? That can get the other generation excited about it and trust it. But and then number 2 would be don't worry about money, funding, whatever it is. The best things are going to come from things that don't need funding, and then you'll get the funding later on in the way. Just start it. Just get it going. And honestly,
how do you start it without money?
This was literally you start a Facebook group, you start a group on LinkedIn. This was literally us starting a social community and on our on IBM Connections, which is our internal version of LinkedIn, for instance, our employee intranet. And you just start it and start tagging people and write your mission, make it simple, make it straightforward, make it easily understandable for anyone in any country, and just start tagging people and start going like you have 1 billion followers and just go with it, and you'll eventually build it. And the thing is, we had no money to start Millennial Core. We had support emotionally, right, from senior leadership. But in terms of support, and we went back a year later to present to our senior executives at IBM, and they were like, and we showed them how we'd grown and what across how many companies, and they were like, so I don't understand this. How did you did we give you money that we just don't realize we gave you? How did this happen? Do you guys have paid support behind it? Like, no, this is the power of the millennial generation. This is the power of a social digital generation, that when we're excited about something, we're going to tell everybody we know, whether it's through word of mouth, whether it's through a tweet, whether it's through tagging them on our employee intranet. That's like, if you can excite us, again, if you can get us excited about something, don't worry about your paid marketing. Like, that'll come eventually, like when you need to really reach your, like, past the tipping point, but like, you just got to start somewhere. Don't worry about the details and like the...
2 billion under 20 was Facebook group.
See? Exactly.
Scrapped.
Yeah.
That's how we started, and then we took over the Teal Foundation's events to have occasional meetups.
And then that becomes your army, right?
So like, yeah, the biggest meetup we ever had was after during the fourth Teal Foundation Summit.
Love that.
Which was
awesome.
maybe 6 months after this thing started. We had like 75 people there.
Yeah, and you realize, like that, with the Teal Foundation, you realize who are going to be your biggest, like, partners. So, like, we have a new hire network at IBM. We have new to blue network at IBM. We have consulting by degrees, which is all people right out of university that start as consultants at IBM. Like, and those people, you don't have to be separate, right? Like, combine forces. Like, we have happy hours once a month. Like, we reach out to...
number 3, combined forces?
Number 3, combine forces. Combine forces. Find partners wherever you can, because again, the whole thing with collaboration, you're going to be more successful when you start involving other people and as diverse, as similar as whatever you want to get. Just get other people involved and get them to become your champions.
My 2 cents on that, because internally, you know your partners, right? It's like you're all playing for the same brand or team, and
you'd be surprised, but
and you have companies you work with
totally.
Traditionally, anyways. If you're not in a corporate setting, be very careful about who you partner with, because that sets the tone for your brand later on. And the worst thing that can happen is to partner with an organization or even a person that has negative tonalities to them or negative press around them, or it's just not a high integrity person or organization, because then that's just going to reflect on you and the collective partnership you've established. Carry on.
5, 4. Where am I? 4? No, 5.
4.
5. 4. 4 would be that do one thing towards the beginning that proves your impact, your power, your success.
So early wins.
And number 27 is, and this is not for you or Nim or any millennial out there, this is for who I hope is really watching these videos and really soaking this all in, for non-millennials out there. People, especially at companies or outside of companies, that are trying to figure out how to work with millennials, how to retain, how to attract them. And that would be, talk to your millennials, right? I started a blog once that was #AskAMillennial. Companies pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to do millennial studies. They pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to consultants to come in and tell them how to better attract and retain a young workforce. What they don't do is walk 10 feet from their desk to a young person in the room that sits down the hall, if not next to them, and ask them what the question is. How should we market this product to a younger audience? They are your eyes and ears of the millennial generation, and they are free. It is a free focus group sitting in front of you, 10 feet away from you at all times.
Who wants you to be better at engaging.
Who is dying for you to ask them, right? You wouldn't ask legal advice from a race car driver. Therefore, you shouldn't ask a non-millennial advice about how to attract, retain, market to, blah, 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 a millennial, right? Like, it's common sense, and I wish, if there's anything that comes from this interview, if there's anything that comes from anything in, like, the universe that I could talk about, it is ask a millennial, engage your young audience. Please, just take, and ask them, take them out to coffee, ask them what their favorite website is, ask them what their favorite app is, ask them what their favorite soda flavor is. I don't care. Start a conversation, make it not about work.
What's their favorite question?
Yeah. Buy this book. I don't even know who writes this book. And buy 3 Billion Under 30 when it comes out. And this book with it. And start talking to the millennials in your office and even with your family, with your kids. You're going to learn so much, and you're only going to be that much more successful because of it. I can't stress it enough. Clearly I'm passionate about this.
Where can we find out more about you personally? Where can we find out more about your work at IBM? And what's the coolest thing that the Millennial Core is working on next?
Okay,
that you know about.
So me, I'm like, how do I make an @ symbol with my hand? On Twitter, Sam Joy, as in Joy, that's my middle name. K, Sam Joy K. Obviously on LinkedIn, on Facebook. I had a blog on Big Thing called Ask Millennial. I really need to start that back up again. Mm-hmm. And what was the other question? And I'm like, you can text me.
So where can they find out about you?
Yes.
Check.
And in 3 billion under 30, and in hashtag Millennial to watch newsletters. Yeah.
Yep.
And what's the coolest thing that
you want to hear? Where can they find out about Millennial Core first?
Talk to me, or you can search it on the. I mean, I'm like on the article that Jared wrote for Forums. But yeah, I'm hoping to get more and more word out there because I really want it to inspire other companies to be doing that sort of thing with their own millennials.
Please, can we do the 3 billion under 30 corporate companion guide with Millennial Core? Can we do 3 billion under 30 IBM edition?
Yeah, please. We have like more. We have like more than like 3 billion. I can't even tell you.
Well, no, you guys got more than 75 millennials.
Well, we have over like.
You have like
hundreds of
tens
thousands.
of thousands.
Yeah, hundreds of thousands.
So we could do this.
We could totally do this.
Who do we talk to?
I'm like, and we're doing it. We'll talk about it. But the coolest thing that Millennial Core is working on right now is get this, and you heard it first.
Other than 3 billion under 30
you heard
IBM
it first.
edition, which is not actually a book yet.
Our senior leadership is sponsoring a movement that we just started with Millennial Core called Fast Forward 2020. Fast forward, we are the Netflix generation. We just want to hit fast forward. We are move at the speed of digital. 2020, obviously being perfect vision, but also the fact that millennials will be 75% of the workforce in 2020. We're calling this movement Fast Forward 2020, and it is taking all the millennial-minded individuals at IBM and really giving them kind of that seat at the table with transforming, we're in the middle of a big transformation at IBM. It's really giving them a seat at the table on everything transformation related. And a lot of it is virtual and digital, and kind of this whole mobilizing like movement. But the coolest thing ever, like I'm kind of dying about this, is that we're bringing 42 of the like most proactive, energetic, like imagine me times
42
a billion.
Sams.
42 Sam time 100 billion zillions from across the world. So from Singapore, India, Dubai,
all working
UK,
at IBM.
Hungary. We're bringing them all to IBM in Armonk, to our corporate headquarters for 3 days in June. And we are having not sessions where executives are talking to them, but we are having work sessions where these amazing Millennial Core ambassadors who are now our fast forward representatives are going to be working hand in hand with our senior key executives on different impact areas of the company that are really affecting the younger generation and really improving those things, coming up with solutions, and not just coming up with solutions there and then like, okay, and that's it, but for the next year working hand in hand with our senior executives to actually bring those solutions to life and really implement them. So it's pretty freaking awesome. I can't even and these 42 people who most of them I've never met because they're in other countries, like I feel like I'm meeting Justin Bieber. Like I'm gonna die. I like swear they're gonna have to have an ambulance there for me when I faint and die. When I can't. Yeah, it's
amazing.
Really awesome. Yeah.
So bosses, ask a millennial.
Ask a millennial.
And then do that.
And then do that.
Work with them.
Yeah, work with us.
Because.
Please.
Yeah. We
really want you to. And don't just ask us questions about social and Twitter and digital. We can help with so much more than that. I swear. That's another number 2008. Don't just get coached from millennials on social and how to tweet and how to do your LinkedIn profile. That only creates a bigger generational divide. Let's tackle challenges together and really learn how to trust one another, and then that's where the magic is going to happen.
And tell us about you guys too. Like, we want to know more about older generations, and like we're not just stuck in our ways. We want this like conversation to happen. And
work is where the Wi-Fi is. It goes beyond the work walls. Tell us about you as people.
I mean, Gen X boomers, they have strengths that we don't have.
Like a zillion, yeah.
That millennials and Gen Z have certain strengths. Gen X and boomers have other strengths. Totally. If we work together, we could solve the world's most pressing problems.
That's when the world is like made into the best place.
And if we keep the intergenerational gap coinciding in a bad way, it's kind of like the corporate version of a presidential election.
Pretty much. You said it best.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Awesome.
Thank you for watching another episode of Stories from the 3 Billion Under 30. Now, if you want to see more stories from the 3 Billion Under 30, we actually have a book coming out in January called 3 Billion Under 30. And if you go and click the link in the description below, you can get 3 free stories from the next book right now. Not in January, now. So check it out and follow the rest of the web series in order to see more interviews just like this one.